Alrighty, welcome back everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be making my last soap for this summer before I go on my little vacation. So I'm taking a month-long break. It'll start the second week of June and end the second week of August. Sorry, July. Begin the second week of July and end the second week of August. So in today's soap, we're going to be creating what I call the bomb pop. So you can probably tell by the colorants. We're using Trial by Fire Mica by Nurture Soap. And then we're also using Blue Slushy Mica by our friends over at Brambleberry. And we're gonna create this classic summer soap, or this classic summer treat in a soap. So the fragrance oil blend that I'm using, it's actually a blend of fragrance oil and essential oil. So we have a stunning blue raspberry fragrance oil, a incredible cherry fragrance oil, and then we also have a little bit of lime and bergamot essential oils just to add a little bit of that fresh citrus twist. So what I'm going to do is, in my lye water container, we have a little bit of sodium lactate, a little bit of titanium dioxide. I'm gonna give this a quick little blitz, and then we will add this over to our soap. Okay. So I have that blended up just to emulsion, maybe a little bit before. You can still see I do have some oils on the surface. That's okay. I'm not too worried about it. This is my my last soap for the month, and I'm so excited for this break. We have a holiday coming up. There's so much with the possibility of the archer+Alex store and studio coming up. Video collaborations, all sorts of stuff. So I just need to take some time to be able to enjoy my summer a little bit and recharge and relax and get ready for really what this crazy rest of the year has in store for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh this container. That way we can see how much soap batter we have. You know, I should probably know this by now. So we have about 71 ounces. Hey Siri, what is 71 divided by 3? So we're gonna do about 23 ounces in each of these containers. So I had anticipated on doing 2 soaps for this send off. However, the other soap that I had planned went horribly wrong. The fragrance oils did not want to cooperate, and it riced and accelerated the batter into soap on a stick. So that soap is actively sitting behind me on the shelf of shame. And I might show you all what it looks like at the end of this video. But yeah, I did not want that to be my last soap. That's kind of what sparked me wanting to take a break in the first place, was the fact that I'm tired. I'm starting to kind of get burnt out a little bit. And I don't think that's fun. Like, you guys don't want to see me like that. I don't want to be like that. So it's a good time to take a little break and recharge my batteries for the summer and fall to come. All right, So I'm gonna take this blue slushy mica. We're gonna add that into our soap batter. I'm gonna give this a quick little mix. So I started off with a really nice white base because I kind of want these colors to have some anchor to them, especially this red. While this red is going through saponification and curing, it does like to kind of go brown on me. And that's just kind of how reds go in my particular soap formulation. So I want to give these a little bit of an anchor. That way, if you can remember the Rainbow Riot soap, it goes brown and then it brightens up to this beautiful like prismatic red. And that's what I'm hoping for. So we have our blue ready. I'm gonna go ahead and get my mold ready. And we're actually going to quickly swap out the camera battery real quick before we die. All right, and we are back. So, I did not want that to die while I was trying to pour this. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in our fragrance blend. Yeah, this last soap that I made, I wanted to make a watermelon soap before I went on break. And I was so excited and so happy for it. But one of the fragrance oils that I used, of course, accelerated on me and riced up the entire batch. And it just kind of put me in this awful mood, like coming off of the absolute high that was the Y2Gay collection. It really just kind of was like, you know what, I'm going to take a break while I can, kind of quit while I'm ahead, if you will. That way I can come back to the table and not be frustrated. Because like looking back at the footage of that video, there's like so many things that I would have done differently. One of them being the fact that I had started portioning off the soap like I'm doing now. And then I second guessed myself and poured it all back into a container. And most, if not every soaper knows that as soon as you do that, you're like setting yourself up for failure. I don't know what it is, if it's like just the soap making gods or it's just like a bad omen or whatever. But it got me, gal. It got me good. I was so frustrated, so upset. And I like had this moment of, you know what, I'm done. I'm done. But I wanted to do one more soap because first of all, y'all here in Lawrence love the soap. And I am so thankful for that. And I need to make sure that y'all are taken care of and have some fun, fresh things at less before I go on break. All right, so we got our blue layer in. Here is our white layer. So I'm expecting this fragrance oil to kind of just color our white maybe a little bit. Because two of the components that I used are kind of dark in color, and that it's hurry. Ooh, goodness. That being the bergamot essential oil and the lime essential oil. They tend to want to discolor as soon as you put them into your soap batter, and then they tend to like behave themselves once they go through saponification. So I'm gonna go ahead and I don't want it to be too perfect. I want it to kind of look like a melted bomb pop. So we're gonna do kind of a drop swirl, and then as we get to the end of our white batter. Kind of just want it to like drizzle on top. And kind of create like a little bit of a white layer by itself. Nothing too thick or fancy. Like I said, I kind of want this to be a melted bomb pop. Or a rocket pop, depending on what part of the country you're in. I'm just gonna kind of just go in a little bit and spread this out just a skosh before I get my red down. I think that looks good because I kind of want it to look melty when you cut the actual bars. So I think what I just did there is going to do that perfectly. All right, so last color is our red. I've been featuring this red pretty heavy lately. It's been a definite favorite. First time I saw it was used by Katie Carson over at Royalty Soaps, and I was like, I have to get that mica. And every time I wanted to get it, I either had to pay for other supplies, or it was out of stock, or insert supply chain issue here. And so now that I have it, I want to use it in everything. Okay, so let me add in the rest of our fragrance oil. This fragrance oil smells so good. I'm super happy with how it turned out. Like, out of the jar, without it being actually in soap, it was very sweet. And now that it's actually in soap, I'm not mad about it whatsoever. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with it. I think I might have to do a second go of this fragrance now that I think about it. Once I get back, I'll put like a poll and things in the video description. And if you guys want this kind of like red, white, and blue melted popsicle situation, when I get back, we can have talks about doing a small run like this. So let's go ahead and scrape out this container, because I'm leaving this plain, which might be a shocker to some, but I've not been featuring the crazy swirled tops as of late. And I think there's just something nice about like a nice flat simplistic soap top. So that's kind of where my soaping head and heart have been. Okay, so we got everything in the mold. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of coach this around. Yeah, there we go. I'm so excited about this last half of the year. So I'm doing a sponsorship collaboration. So you'll probably see that here very soon. I'm unbelievably excited. Like, I could not be more excited about the opportunity. And then when I come back, we're going to start on the fall collection and the Halloween collection, because it may have been requested that we do maybe like a second installment of the Scream Queens collection. Maybe with some different inspiration, maybe make it a little bit more like occulty instead of just like horror movie inspired. So we'll kind of have to see collaboratively what I come up with when I'm in kind of one of my sketching reset days. So I'm gonna give this a spritz with our 91% isopropyl alcohol. And then we're gonna let this diva sit and percolate and saponify and crystallize and be a glamazon soap ready for the runway.
Yes, God.
But I will show you how abysmal this watermelon soap turned out. Yeah, jump scare. So I did a mixture of watermelon sugar by Brambleberry with the cactus flower and jade by Candle Science, and it got me, gal. So that's probably just going to be sent to Less is More as like a, hey, thanks for tolerating my soaping schedule. But yeah, we're gonna let this saponify for 18 to 24 hours, and then we will be back to lob off the ends and get this soap ready to head over to our friends over at Less is More. Alrighty, so we are back a few days later to unmold our Bomb Pop inspired soap, our little rocket pop. So that is what our top looks like. Let me go ahead and start to pull the mold away from the sides. This soap might be a little sticky still, just from like how humid it's been here in Kansas City. So I've noticed that with it being humid, my soaps like to stick to the mold a little bit more than they normally do. So that probably just means during our summer months, I need to use less water so that there is exactly that, less water in these soaps. All right, Diva, let's get out of the mold. Here she comes, possibly. So as you can see, this is still pretty soft. That's okay. With it being this soft, it's easy to, if there's any like marring or anything like that on the sides, you can kind of just smooth it out with your hands. So since this is going to our friends over at Less is More, looks great. I'm going to zip off the edges of these so we can begin the curing process. And so there we have it, that kind of melted bomb pop moment. I think it looks great. Wipe our wire. The first time that I used this red, I thought we were experiencing the dreaded orange spots. So there's the other side of the bar. But what we are experiencing is that this red likes to oxidize. And so we get this like gnarly orange moment. And that's okay. I just had to like make sure that I wasn't freaking out. All right. So let me show off these bars. And then Alex in the studio will wrap up this video.